Right then, this is a quick walk around video for a really lovely car. This is a Honda CR-V 2-litre EX manual. It's a 2012 car, the last of this shape actually, with 69,000 miles only. A lovely service history. I think it's 9 or 10 services. It's just been freshly MOT'd, no advisories came up on it at all. That was done independently of us, I hasten to add. Finished in silver, black leather interior. It's in fantastic condition for a car of its age and mileage. It really is. Coming around the front, all very clean and tidy. Lights and lenses are clear and intact. No cracks or condensation in them. Bonnet, very clean indeed. There'll be the odd microscopic stone chip, no doubt, but I can't really see anything that jumps out at me. Near side of the car, lovely and clean in the panels. Really smooth. Near side front alloy, very clean indeed. And have a look at this side. So for a 10-year-old car, exceptional really. Near side rear alloy, again absolutely lovely. Come around the back of the car, again all clean and tidy. Back of the vehicle again likewise. Come around the offside, driver's side of the car. Again, no indentations. Parking things, I can see that immediately obvious to me. Well, there was one, sorry, I will show you it. Just there, tiny little indentation, but I've got a chap coming to hopefully, if he can get to it, take that out. So that there's a 80% chance that'll be gone. So anyway, offside rear alloy, again, very clean. Remaining panels, absolutely fantastic. But it really is. Again, just exceptional condition for its age and mileage of the vehicle. It's coming to the back of the car now. Amazing to see. It's got all of its original equipment in here because quite often they go missing. So you've got the tonneau cover at the top, the middle shelf, and then obviously the lower areas. That just slides back. That looks pretty much like brand new. The back of the car is in amazing condition because these CR-Vs are normally heavily used, and yet this, I mean, it's incredible. It really is. Coming to the back of the car now, ridiculous amounts of leg room. It's amazing, and I've got those front seats set for me, and I'm over 6 foot tall, and it's been kept beautifully because CR-Vs, unfortunately, as with ours, our family ones, normally very heavily used, and yet this one is just incredible. Which is why I bought it basically, because it's most of them are, you know, they've been used by kids for 10 years, and they certainly look like it, but this one's been given the gentlest of lives inside. It's coming to the front now. Footwell area is lovely and clean. Passenger seat in the front there literally looks as though it's hardly ever been sat on. It's incredible. So finally come to the driver's door card. Again, very clean. Quite often you see, because it's quite hard plastic here, sort of ring marks and scratches, and yet this one hasn't got any. Driver's seat is electric on the EX models. Again, in fantastic condition, absolutely amazing. You always will get a bit of compression here, obviously where the backside sort of slides in and out. And if I can just look up, you've got a lovely big panoramic roof with the electric blind that opens and shuts to allow daylight in or otherwise. It's finally inside the car. As always, the engine is running through this bit so the dashboard can be seen illuminated. Dashboard is in beautiful condition, absolutely beautiful condition. As you can see there, sat-nav working exactly as it should. If I pop the car into reverse, a lovely clear reverse camera. It's been kept so well, it really has. And then come up to the dash binnacle. 69,533 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. So finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V. It's a 2-litre EX manual. This particular car is registered BV62OJU, and with a mileage of 69,524. The reason we do all of our videos, and especially actually this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars actually, they get to see them in operation. The reason we feel it's important, as I always say, is that we know, unfortunately, to our cost, just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look perfectly good in photographs and descriptions, but then you get to drive it and find out it's got a fundamental issue which you would much rather known about before setting off. So hence that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet country roads in this lovely part of Gloucestershire. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, so in that way we hope it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, it's been very, very, very well looked after. Engine starts instantly, settles to an absolutely smooth, even idle. No warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge is currently running as a third because it's been running for some time, and that's exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. The engines are simply brilliant petrol engines. Always say it, never get bored of saying it either, but Honda make the best four-cylinder engines in the world. And this is a classic example of why they are everything you'd expect of a Honda. They're incredibly reliable and long-lasting, far more so than anything else in their class. But they're also just a lovely engine to use day in, day out. They've got a real sophistication to the sound of the engine. When you put your foot down, you're greeted with a sweet engine note. As it picks up, it hardens, but doesn't get shrill or coarse in any way. It is a sensational unit. It's a lovely engine to use the whole time. Engine then feeds through into clutch and gearbox. Clutch in the car, absolutely perfect. Bite point exactly where it's meant to be. Nice and smooth in operation. Gearbox, typical Honda gearbox, absolutely brilliantly done. Gear change itself has a kind of a mechanical, beautifully engineered feel to it, which is ironic given the fact that, like pretty much all cars with transverse engines, they run cables from the gear lever to the gearbox. But notwithstanding, you find so many cars of this type can have sort of vague, lifeless, sloppy gear changes in gear that hardly moves. When you change gear, you just got that wonderful quality of actuation. It's absolutely brilliantly done. And it feels pretty much, in fact it does, it feels exactly as it had done when it was new. It's still as tight as ever. So coming to the steering on the car, which again, Honda do the chassis, all the engine and gearbox, you always know they're going to be good on a Honda, but the chassis and the steering of the car is brilliant too in its own way, because fundamentally this car is designed to be a car that ferries families around on a regular basis, so it's got to fulfill that criteria more than anything else. You make them too hard on the chassis and they'll rattle your brains over the bumps, but they'll go through the corners rather nicely. You make them soft and squidgy, they'll feel great on a test drive until you start throwing in a few corners, and then you've got kids in the back that are as green as anything. This is just brilliantly done. So the fuel lights just come on. The ride is very supple. It deals with pretty much every imperfection on the road really well. But when you come to corners like this, pitch in, minimal fuss, hardly any steering wheel input, and it just maintains its composure through the corner. It's really, really well done. Steering feels kind of weighty in a power steering way, so it's still light, but it's not over light, which you get with so many cars that can feel horribly disconnected on the road. This makes the car feel very solid, heavy almost, and substantial on the road. It also tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit actually. And suspension of the vehicle exhibits no rattles, no clonks, nothing. I mean, it's ridiculous almost for a 10-year-old car to feel, is borderline as new to drive. It really is. So I'm just checking my battery's beeping at me. It's tight as a drum. It's amazing. I'm going to get up to speed and give the brakes a bit of a thump in a second, so just try them out. Hold on to my things, make sure they're not flying forward, so no one directly behind. Really good brake pedal on the car. What I'm looking for in particular is when you first hit the brakes, there shouldn't be any kind of trembling or pulsing through the brake pedal, and also they should be powerful and pull up nice and straight, and does all of those absolutely perfectly. Let's finally come inside the car, which is in lovely condition in here. It really is. The build quality of these things is extraordinary. There's no squeaks, no rattles, nothing at all. It is beautifully, beautifully put together. And as I quite often say, it really frustrates me to hear the same road testers when cars are brand new lauding the same manufacturers as being, the finest of the build quality, and basically they judge them, it seems, by how many squidgy plastics you can have inside the car. That's not build quality. Build quality is how you assemble the materials you use, and how long that's going to last, and how fresh they'll feel after all those years in use. And quite a lot of those other manufacturers at this age and mileage can feel like rattle boxes inside. Honda are brilliant at this, because this CR-V is the best-selling SUV in the world, and there's a very good reason why, because they designed them brilliantly. So it does have some harder plastics, but if you spill things, if you drop things, you can wipe them clean. It's designed for a purpose, but it works brilliantly well. It's also a lovely place to sit. You've got fantastic visibility out of the car, all the way around. Massive wing mirrors. I can actually see the bonnet of the car, which is a minor miracle in this day and age. But it just makes you feel very confident on the road to drive the vehicle. Inside the car, everything's working exactly as it should. You've got your panoramic roof, electric blind, sat nav, as you can see, functioning perfectly there. You've got dual zone climate control system, which gives you the opportunity to have different temperatures side to side on the vehicle. The air conditioning, by the way, pumps out absolutely ice cold air. You're going to pull out, you're going to do that. So that's all working exactly as it should. The switchgear quality is always with Hondas. It's just brilliantly done. Every dial you press, every button you press has a fantastic quality of actuation to it. It seems like trivial, but it really is. What are we doing? Okay. Crikey me. But it's the sort of thing that actually grates after a while. And you get in some cars and the buttons feel flimsy and the paint peels off. Not on these. It's just brilliantly done. And then dashboard binnacle in front. It's just fantastically simple and legible. Classic Honda. Two big identical dials side to side. Speedo, rev counter. You've got your fuel gauges, temperature gauge, information display. Nothing more. That's all you need, and it works brilliantly well. Steering wheel, nice leather bound one, feels absolutely superb in hand, shows absolutely no wear in this at all. And finally, to come to the four-wheel drive system of the car, basically there is no button or anything to activate it. It does it all for you, because again, Honda worked out really quickly that most of its customers would be doing as I am today, driving in perfectly good conditions, where you simply don't need four-wheel drive on. The problem with having four-wheel drive on permanently is it's going to get through your tyres more quickly, you're going to use more fuel, and you're going to put more mechanical stress through the car. So what Honda has designed, and it's been going for now 30 years or so, is a system that basically runs in front-wheel drive pretty much the whole time, two-wheel drive. And that's the most efficient way to pull any car along. Should it need to go in four-wheel drive, it does it all for you, because it uses the traction control system of the car to check whether the front wheels have got grip. So if you were to pull out on a bit of mud, ice, snow, and the front wheel started to slip, it instantly and seamlessly brings in the four-wheel drive. It's genius in the way it operates, and it reacts infinitely more quickly than you could ever react yourself. Its simplicity also, by the way, gives it its reliability, because, as I said, we've been selling Hondas using this system for now nearly 30 years, and we've never touched a four-wheel drive system on any of them, so it is very, very robust. As I said at the start of the video, brief as it may well be, it's literally just to show the car operating and feedback on any issues, of which I can find nothing at all. It drives absolutely ridiculously well for a car this age. It feels solid and tight on the road, and it's easy to see why these are so sought after. It's a very high quality product. As always though, if you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate, do give us a call.